Imagine you are standing in the bread aisle. You reach for a loaf of sourdough, and the little digital screen on the shelf says $4. But as your hand touches the plastic wrapper, the screen flickers. The black pixels rearrange themselves. Suddenly it says $5.50. You didn't hallucinate. You just shopped during a high-demand window. Welcome to the era of dynamic pricing, where the cost of staying alive changes every minute. Let's take a walk through a supermarket. Not the one from your childhood, with the friendly butcher and the static smell of floor wax. I'm talking about the supermarket of today, 2026. It looks clean, almost clinical. The lighting is perfect, the floors are polished, concrete, and everything feels efficient. But if you look closely, the soul of the place has vanished. It has been replaced by a glowing, blinking nervous system of electronic shelf labels. Do you remember the sticker gun? It was a clunky plastic machine that grocery clerks used to carry around. Chunk chunk. It slapped a bright orange or yellow sticker onto a can of soup. That sticker was a promise. It said, "This soup costs $2," and that promise held true for everyone. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor. It didn't matter if it was raining or sunny. And it didn't matter if you bought it at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. The price was the price. It was a contract between the store and the community. That contract has been shredded. Walk down the cereal aisle today. There are no paper stickers. Instead, under every box of Cheerios and every bag of coffee, there is a small LCD screen. They look harmless, don't they? They save paper. They make it easier for the store to update inventory. That is what they told us when they installed them back in 2024. They said it was about efficiency, but efficiency for them means extraction from you. Those screens are connected to a central server, which is run by an artificial intelligence that monitors everything. And I mean everything. The AI knows that it's currently 5:15 p.m. on a Tuesday. It knows that thousands of people just clocked out of their jobs. It knows that traffic is bad, meaning people are stressed, tired, and hungry. They don't want to cook. They want something easy. So, quietly, without a sound, the price of frozen pizzas, rotisserie chickens, and pre-made salads ticks up by 12%. It's called surge pricing. We accepted it with Uber because we thought, well, I can just wait for the car. We accepted it with airlines because we thought, flying is a luxury. But nobody thought they would bring it to the bread aisle. Nobody thought they would surge price the basic necessities of life. The psychological toll of this is exhausting. Shopping used to be a chore. Now it is a gamble. You walk in with a budget of $100, but you don't actually know if you can afford your cart until you get to the checkout. You find yourself rushing, trying to beat the algorithm. You avoid the store on weekends because you know the weekend premium kicks in on Friday at noon. You try to shop late at night, hoping for the off-peak discount, wandering the aisles like a ghost just to save 40 cents on milk, and the technology is getting smarter. Look up, see those little black domes on the ceiling? They aren't just security cameras anymore. They are heat maps. They track foot traffic. If a crowd gathers around the ice cream freezer because it's a hot July day, the system senses the demand. The ESL tags on the ice cream blink and rise by 50 cents. It is the immediate capitalization of human desire. The shift happened so slowly we barely noticed. It started with digital coupons that required an app. Then it moved to member pricing. Then, fast food chains experimented with dynamic pricing during lunch rushes. There was outrage. Sure, people tweeted about it. But the companies waited. They let the anger die down. And then they implemented it anyway, calling it personalized value. Now, the grocery store feels less like a market and more like a stock exchange. You are day trading your dinner. You are staring at a carton of eggs, wondering if you should buy now or hold, hoping the price drops in an hour. But unlike a stock trader, you can't choose not to participate. You have to eat. The house always wins because the house controls the data. This constant fluctuation destroys our sense of value. What is a gallon of milk actually worth? Is it $3, $6? The concept of a fair price has dissolved. The price is simply whatever the algorithm calculates is the maximum amount of pain you are willing to endure before you walk away. And in a country where food deserts are real and competition is scarce, you usually don't walk away. You pay the surge, you tap your card, you take your receipt, and you try not to look at the total. But the screens on the shelves are only the hardware. The real horror story is the software. Because in 2026, the price on the shelf isn't just about the time of day, it's about you. The most dangerous thing in the supermarket isn't the high price, it's the phone in your pocket. For years, we treated loyalty apps like digital coupon books. We scanned our little barcodes to save 50 cents on bananas or get fuel points. We thought we were gaming the system. In reality, we were training the beast. We were feeding the algorithm years of data about our habits, our income, our family size, and our breaking points. Now, imagine this scenario. You walk into the store. Your phone connects to the store's Wi-Fi, or perhaps the app just pings your location in the background. The store knows you are there. It pulls up your profile. It knows you buy diapers every 2 weeks. It knows you haven't bought them in 14 days, which means you are out. You are desperate. You walk to the baby aisle. The electronic shelf label communicates with your phone via Bluetooth or NFC. For the person standing next to you, a single guy just browsing the price of those diapers might display as $20. But for you, the desperate parent, the screen might suddenly shift to $24. This is personalized pricing. It is the holy grail of modern retail. They don't call it discrimination. They call it yield management. It is the science of extracting the maximum willingness to pay from every individual human being. If the algorithm knows you are price sensitive, that you will leave the store if pasta costs more than $1, it gives you the lower price. If it knows you are affluent and time poor, it charges you more. The price tag is no longer public information. It is a private whisper between the store and your wallet. This erodes the very foundation of community. If we all pay different prices, we can't compare notes, we can't organize. We can't say, hey, this store is ripping us off, because my reality is different from yours. It isolates us in our own little bubbles of economic exploitation. And consider who this hurts the most. It isn't the wealthy. If you have a flexible schedule, if you can work from home, if you can drive to 3 different stores to find the best deal, you can navigate this system. You can shop at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday when the algorithm is sleepy and prices are low. But what if you are a single mom working to shifts? You can only shop at 6 p.m. right in the middle of the search window. You don't have time to comparison shop. You don't have the luxury of waiting. The system punishes the poor for having rigid schedules. It effectively taxes you for having a job. It taxes you for living paycheck to paycheck. The algorithm isn't neutral. It is predatory. This manipulation has turned the grocery store into a place of surveillance. We have started seeing a return to cash, not because people hate technology, but because they want to be invisible. There is a growing underground movement of analog shoppers, people who leave their phones in the car, people who wear masks to confuse the facial recognition cameras, people who shop at farmers markets not just for the fresh tomatoes, but because a farmer looking you in the eye and saying $3 feels like an act of rebellion. But for the vast majority, the trap is set. We have integrated our lives so deeply with these ecosystems that we can't unplug. The fridge in your kitchen scans your milk and tells the store you are running low. The store prepares the order. The price is deducted automatically. You don't even see the cost anymore. It becomes a subscription to existence. We look back at the inflation of 2022 and 2023 with a strange sense of nostalgia. Back then, prices were high, but at least we knew why. It was oil, it was supply chains, it was corporate greed we could point at. Now, the enemy is invisible. The enemy is a line of code that updates 1,000,000 times a second, optimizing our starvation for shareholder value. The grocery store was one of the last places in American life where we stood on equal ground. Whether you were a CEO or a janitor, a can of beans cost the same. That equality is gone, replaced by a flickering digital screen that watches you back. We aren't customers anymore. We are data points to be harvested, squeezed until the very last cent drops out. So, the next time you see that price tag blink, remember, it's not just a glitch, it's the sound of the trap snapping shut.